Welcome back into the Jordy Culotta Show, presented every single day by Go Chevrolet, online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. Stop in and see Lee Carney, Nick Richard, and the crew if you're looking for a new model down in LaPlace or a used car over here in Baton Rouge on Florida Boulevard at Go Express Auto Sales. It is a pleasure to welcome into the conversation here on this Thursday morning LSU Athletics Director Scott Woodward, as it has been a whirlwind of a week up at LSU Sports with a bunch of good news coming out, including the opening announcement and press conference of Kim Mulkey being announced as the LSU women's basketball coach. So a lot to get to with Woody this morning. Scott, good morning. How are you?
Hey, great, Jordy. And before we begin, I want to embarrass you a little bit and just let everyone know listening how far we go back, and just let you know. I know how proud your grandfather, Mr. Frank, would be, and I know how your grandmother, Dee Dee, is, and let everyone know Frankie and your dad and Mark, your uncle, are close friends, and they're proud of the job you're doing. And I've known you since you were a little tyke, and I'm just proud of everything you're doing and how you go about your business. So just a little shout out there, man, and I couldn't be more proud of the job you're doing.
Well, Scott, that means a lot. Coming from you, and as you know how much respect my family has for you and your family, and getting you back home meant so much to everybody around the state of Louisiana, but specifically to a lot of people in Baton Rouge who knew you and your family well. So I appreciate you leading off our interview with those thoughts. On that thought, bringing in Kim Mulkey to lead your women's basketball program, it seems like has ignited this state, or at least reunited this state behind LSU athletics. Do you get that feeling with the hire that you made earlier this week?
You know, Jordy, on these things, yeah, there's a huge excitement. I don't want to discount that at all. But, you know, when we who get real close to the things that we think are horrific or bad, or aren't as bad as horrific as we think. Yeah, there's some problems out there and there's some issues out there, but we're LSU and we're human beings, and we have things that we're dealing with that are societal problems. But in the end, you never have or lose faith in what and how LSU affects and has an importance on so many lives and so many people. And for me, you know, it took me going to work, you know, over 2,000 miles away from here, and then just a few hours away from here, to realize that, you know, the thing that we do a lot here is we exacerbate what we have, and we self-flagellate a little bit when we make mistakes. But granted, I'm not diminishing what's gone on and what's happened. But I just want everyone to know that, hey, everything's going to be all right, and we're going to get things right. And Kim Mulkey's part of that catharsis and part of the theme. And I don't want to sound like it's a regular happening, but it's what we should expect at LSU, the greatest. And what we suspect from Louisiana, or expect from Louisiana, I should say, is Kim Mulkey. I mean, that's who we are. That's who she is. You know, you heard her say it's to her soul. And this is what you want here. And, you know, she, just like me and everyone else, we put on pants one leg at a time, and we try to do the right thing and be good. But, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt there's enormous excitement and there's good news, but there's going to be more good news to come. And I can promise you that, Jordy.
How refreshing. What a great answer. And I think that is what the fan base, the consumers have been wanting, and Scott Woodward, the LSU athletics director, that's what you get, just direct response and somebody who loves our state and is pulling in the right direction. She mentioned that conversation between you and Coach Mulkey lasted about 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, to sell her on the job at LSU. Can you give us a little insight to what that conversation was like?
Yeah, it was just what she said. You know, it was a personal insight, even though I didn't know Kim personally. She and I grew up in Louisiana exactly the same time. She's a class ahead of me, even though we're the same age. So she's a little older than me. I was teasing her on that part.
Watch the yes ma'am, Scott. Watch the yes ma'am.
Exactly. And we both laughed about that, and I was telling my wife last night, this is who she is. I told her, I said, when we're on stage here, I said, we're going to be a little politically incorrect here, and I'm going to give you a big hug. And she goes, if you want, you can give me a big kiss. And I started laughing,
Right.
I said, yeah, this is awesome. This is who we are. But, I'm getting ahead of myself. But the phone conversation was just that. I was having my oldest son who lives out of town was in town, and we were spending time together, and we talked about that, and she says, hey, my most difficult part's going to be talking to my family. And I said, that's what I want you to do. Take your time and talk about it. So, when we had that conversation, we were like kindred spirits. We were just like, hey, we know what we're about. And I just told her very simply out of the box, hey, come home. This is time for you to come home. This is a place for you to be. We can support you at LSU and in the SEC. We're blessed with rabid fans and great resources, and we're going to continue to do great things. And it was an easy sell. I hate to be glib about it, but it really was for her point in time in her career, and she and I talking the same language. It was an easy, fun, very comfortable conversation.
In talking to her and listening to her description of coming to Baton Rouge and coming home, she mentioned obviously the conversation that she had with you, but then behind the scenes, Scott, with so many people doing work, whether it was Stephanie or it seemed like Dee Bro meant a lot to this negotiation.
Rock stars, both of them. Yeah. Dee loves LSU so much, and Stephanie Remp is a pro's pro. You always have good people, and you know me, Jordy, and you know what I'm about. It's all about good people. I'm not smart enough to be good. Everyone goes, oh, how do you do it? I said, it's always hiring people smarter and better than you. And that happens to be two very, very classy and hardworking ladies. And they were involved as people that were very close to Kim that, some I know, some I don't even know. And, always look for the more the merrier, and the more credit we can give for people that had in this, the better, because, I was just the titular head, baby. I was just the one that said, come home, and then let's make this happen.
Some news out of your athletic department yesterday, opening up the facilities to 100% capacity this weekend. Arkansas, #1 team in baseball in town. Arkansas softball team, who's #8 in the country, will be at Tiger Park. There has been a lot of excitement, at least from our listener base, from the feedback and making that decision. What went into making that choice and opening up the gates this weekend?
Yeah, here again, it was very simple, Jordy. We've always followed and always let our medical experts and our folks, obviously with the State Department of Health and working in the governor's office and administration, make these medical decisions. And when we got the green light to do it, we said absolutely, and our fan base is doing that. But I have one caveat. I'd like to be a shameless advocate on your show, Jordy, and say to everyone, man, please get vaccinated. Yeah. The more vaccinations we have, the more everyone can get back to normal, whether it's your show, whether it's your sponsors, whether it's LSU athletics, so we can be fully tailgating and full capacity in the fall without masks. If more and more and more people get vaccinated, let's continue to do that. And we got good news. Our student athletes are stepping up and doing it. I think 70% of our football team's already vaccinated, and that number's going up. 50% plus of our student athletes are doing it, and a lot more will do it when they come back from break. And I just, I've done it, and I wouldn't ask anyone else to do anything I didn't do. So that's my shameless pitch, and please, everyone out there, consider it and do it.
Great, refreshing messages coming from Scott Woodward here this morning on the Jordy Culotta Show. We appreciate his time. I know it's a busy day for him and everybody up at the athletics facility. Your program and your department will receive free advertisement tonight at the NFL Draft, as you'll have two guys come off the board for sure in that first round, in Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall, maybe a third in Jabril Cox. But can you talk about what it means to the football program and to the athletic department when nights like tonight occur for LSU?
Jordy, I'm so glad you brought that up, man. Those are such great kids. I mean, I get to know them intimately and positively. Yeah, occasionally do we have someone go astray or awry? Yes, but let's talk about how Jamar Chase and Terrence Marshall and Jabril Cox, who's only been here a year, they're just class, wonderful young men. Mm-hmm. And I'm so blessed and glad to be associated with them. And they love LSU. They come back. They do. You saw it at Pro Day. You saw them pulling for each other. You saw Jets come in and just be fired up, and everyone around it. And that's the way it is. It's family and it's camaraderie. And trust me, when they screw up, they get on each other harder than we get on them, and that's what you want. You want that peer pressure. But hey, this is time to celebrate and time to do it. And the message to these kids, and I tell them, man, you're going to have a successful career, but you're going to live a long time. Hold on to your money and be smart in what you do and how you do it, and always represent your family and LSU to the best of your ability. So yeah, these are celebrations. These are fun events. These are things that you get fired up for. It give you goosebumps.
Scott, real quick on the business of college football, and I know you may not have a definitive answer, but it's in the news right now that expansion is being discussed, and I know you guys will all meet and discuss on that from a leadership standpoint. But where we sit right now, I know the college football playoff contract is through 2025. Do you see it staying put, or do you see possible expansion on the horizon?
I'm always, open to see what happens and what goes on out there. We have a tremendous commissioner in our league, and Greg Sankey, and how he does things. And he will lead us, and he always has. And just so here again, I don't even know if you know this, but he's part of that group that votes, and he has a vote, and it has to be unanimous. So I know that the SEC's and LSU's interests will be represented well when that discussion happens, and I couldn't begin to tell you what's going to happen, whether it's going to expand, whether it's going to stay the same, whether we go back to 2, which I doubt, but right. You just never know. And we've done very, very well as a school and as a league in the 4-person format. So me personally, I want to be shown and proven that expansion makes sense for the good of the regular season and for the good of everyone in postseason. So it'll be thoughtful and it'll be thought out. And trust me, there's not that much decision making going on right now. There's a lot of discussions and there's a lot of different things being thought about.
Woody, as your friend, thank you for coming on this morning. But from somebody who supports the university and has grown up loving the place, thank you for bringing your leadership back home to LSU and really serving the people the way that you are. Your leadership is going very noticed in communities all over our state, and bringing in people like Kim Mulkey and the people that you have brought in, Cody Worsham, to the athletic department and elevated him into a role that he is going to knock out of the park, is bringing pride to the university and the athletic department again with you in the leadership. So thank you very much for the time this morning, the kind words you said about the family and your time, because I know it's very valuable. So good to talk to you.
That's too kind of you, Jordy, and I do appreciate it, and I'm just blessed and honored to be the steward of this program, and I'm really lucky, and thank you for those kind words, and again, give your family my love.
Yes, sir. Great to talk to you. See you soon.